Welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I'm joined by
Jason?
And Kelly, or not Kelly,
Erik. You know that you're half dwarf, right?
I think
What if I'm
Erik,
the Brad Pitt of dwarf kind?
Kelly, his wife, fucked it a lot.
What's up, guys? It's Steve. I had hair when I was younger.
Like, watch this, guys. I'm gonna totally make them do it. Oh!
What's up, guys? It's Steve with Hap Gaming, and welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I am joined by
Erik.
Oh, all right. Say that again. You cut
Later,
out at that
Kelly.
point.
She'll be here at some point.
All right. That was
Probably.
Erik because his mic cut out right as he said his
Oh,
name.
it did?
It did.
Oh, yeah, it's Erik, and then later on, Kelly will be joining us.
All right. So this week we watched It, directed by Andy Muschietti is what we're gonna go with. Written by Chase Palmer, Kerry Joji Fukunaga, and the book was written by Stephen King. That wasn't listed on the IMDb thing, but it is a Stephen King novel also. Starring Bill Skarsgård, Jaden Martell, and Finn Wolfhard. IMDb synopsis. In the summer of 1989, a group of bullied kids band together to destroy a shape-shifting monster, which disguises itself as a clown and preys on the children of Derry, their small town of in Maine. Small Maine town. There it is. What'd you guys think? What'd you think, Erik?
I love this book. There's only one bit of the book that I just hate.
Yep.
Because it's really gross and
I think
fucked
everybody
up.
hates that part.
And and there's a pretty good argument that Stephen King may have some tendencies that the public would definitely look down upon.
Oh, with the dad and the little girl?
No,
no.
there's a way worse part in the book.
Oh, shit.
It involves the youngsters doing stuff
Oh,
to the girl.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's what you told me.
So
It's
real fucked up.
icky. Yeah. And I really wish that they would print it, even Audible would do it, like, if you don't want to hear the next scene because it's gross, skip 2 page, skip.
Warning.
Yes. I mean, it's way past a trigger warning. It's more like
God.
gross child porn warning.
Does it go
Yeah,
on
and-
forever, or is it just like a quick little?
No,
it's too long. It's I mean,
it's-
a little bit is too
it's-
long, and this is longer than
right.
too long. So
It's fucking
Oh.
descriptive too.
yeah.
Oh.
And it's
It's
just
not
like
like- It's
I'm-
not
it-
like Bill banged her.
Yeah.
It was like,
it's Stephen
he
King style where he has to
inserted-
describe everything,
yeah, this guy's
Um,
schlong is longer than the other
yeah.
one's
And,
schlong.
and they're this young in the book, right?
Yeah.
Like
I think they might be young.
barely like 12,
Yeah,
maybe.
somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like I'm not in
Icky.
favor of like what is that? Abridging books or anything like that. This one needs to be abridged. It's just not it doesn't add anything to anything. You literally could do what happens at the end of this movie where they make a pact. That's all that has to happen. All that
Yeah.
has to happen.
They could just switch it out with kissing her, for Christ's sakes.
Even then,
They
it's
could all
just
just
too
kiss
much.
her.
They just didn't need to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would, the kissing, like, if they just give her a normal, like, kiss, it would, like, in the show where the kid, Ben, knocks her out of the thing, that's not, like, the worst thing ever. It's, pretty normal 12-year-old behavior. It's not gross stuff. Sorry, I was looking at my goofball kid who's trying to hit his head on the table.
Nice.
Here.
It's just,
Anyways,
it's just definitely a
it's-
part. I'm glad that they didn't put it in, and
Yes.
it's yeah. So,
I'm really happy they didn't put it
do you
in
think
because
Stephen King was sitting there going, "Wait, you guys missed a part, guys, there's a big part you missed. You didn't put this part," and they're just like, "Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up.
Well,
We're not fucking doing this."
He's
Shut the fuck
had
up."
his say on a lot of movies and shows and stuff. And I'm like, did you know this isn't like your book, right? Like, why would you okay this? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like when we were watching what was that TV thing? The Outsiders. It was
The Outsider.
no. Yeah, I guess it was. I can't remember. It was something. I'm like,
Stan,
What the
hell is your deal, buddy?
Yeah.
You're
That's
having
just,
a really hard day today. Are you tired?
This is why I listen to Stephen King novels though, like so I can just tune out when shit like that or just anything in general happens instead of reading it, Where then
Yeah.
I've got to
Yeah.
like skip a bunch of shit and be like, all right, no, 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 no. You know, it's just easier just to tune out of it while I'm working or something like that. So, um, no, I think they did a really good job with this though. Like it was well done. It got, you know, for the kids' perspective, I think they got quite a few of the, you know, the points and stuff. So I think they did a good job. I think Pennywise is far scarier in this one than the second chapter. There's just I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's kids and it like they have less. You know, they seem like they're more vulnerable. They're harder. You know, they're easier to take out, kind of thing. And usually that stuff isn't kind of shown. Like, you know, usually a murderer or a slash or something like that's going after teenagers or adults. You know,
Yeah.
so
Well, the Georgie part still gets me.
yeah, no, that's fucked.
You know, I lost a little brother. I know what it's like. You know what it feels like to lose him, and it's just like, oh God, don't go in every time. I'm like, just tell the clown to fuck off.
Yeah.
Tell him to fuck off, Georgie. You know, maybe you have to take a shit right now, and you tell him, hey, I gotta go poop. I'll talk to you later. You know, and he doesn't do that. So
Well, I feel like there's probably a little bit of that hypnosis stuff that he does. He didn't, you
yeah,
know, he didn't open his mouth like he did with Bev, but you know, still, there's still a little bit of that, like the dead lights in his eyes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I think he was able to.
Well, I mean, kids are you know, there's a lot of kids who you could just talk into anything.
Yeah.
They're just you know, most kids are the parents are like, do what I say, and there's you know, do what any adult tells you to do type of a thing,
Yeah.
and you know, I mean, what's funny is in 1989, I think I was 5, so I was like Georgie's age,
Yeah.
and I would have been like, that's creepy. I don't give a fuck. I can make another boat. Nope. I'd nope out of that.
Why was he
Right
so
there.
convinced that Bill was gonna kick his ass if he lost the boat too? Like
I
Bill
think it
didn't
was.
like it didn't put like a whole lot of like, no, you don't mess with, you know, don't fuck this boat up or whatever. You know, he didn't say anything like that. George just like, you know, oh man, Bill's gonna kill me if I don't get that boat back.
I think in
So
the book it was like one of the first times Bill had. I think in the book Bill said, "Now don't lose this" or
something like
something like
that.
that. But I mean, you know, if somebody goes out of their way to help you, you don't want to disappoint them by literally taking it out and then just dumping it down the drain right away.
I mean, you figure
You
like
know.
Bill would just assume that's what's going to happen, right? I imagine, I guess it's
Yeah.
not in Georgie's mind, but it's rainy outside.
No.
There's big ass storm drains. Of course, the boat's going to go down the fucking drain. I'm sure Bill's lost
Yeah.
tons of boats down the storm drain. So,
I mean, it's just a friggin' piece of paper with some wax on it.
yeah.
I mean, who the hell gives a shit? But
Um,
yeah, I mean the book has got a lot of scary stuff in it,
yeah.
and you
I
know,
think like Steven Weber does a great job reading this thing too. Like
yes,
he fucking captures it so well. I think the scene where Bev is in the bathroom and the people in the drain are talking to her and shit like that. I had to turn that shit off because I was in my bathroom, and I'm just like, no, fuck it, no, I can't do this. No, just not
it's
gonna. I'm
funny.
not gonna have this on right now. I'll wait. So
Well, Stephen King, you know, the Stephen King and the kid stuff, frankly. So like he just wrote this book called The Institute,
uh-huh.
and it's about a bunch of kids in an institute, right?
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh God, there's gonna be some heinous shit going on here. But there is heinous shit going on, but it's not any sexual heinous stuff. It's just regular child abuse, which is still awful, but not as bad.
yeah.
You know, not as bad to listen to for sure. Anyway, so um,
I,
that's nice that he managed that. It was a good book too. They'll probably make that into a movie since
yeah,
they seem to be on a Stephen King run.
yeah. And they seem to be doing a pretty good job with it. So I think now that they have,
Yeah,
I think now that they have the special effects to do it, I think it helps out. Like you know, with some of the books and stuff. So where
yeah,
before,
they
you
did
know,
such a good job with some of this stuff.
yeah,
Like, I did want to see. I don't know if it's yet, but I wanted to see him being the Moon talking to Henry. but I don't think he started that yet.
No, I think that's when Henry's an adult, isn't it? When he's in the
That's what I thought.
in
Yeah.
the asylum.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, so one of the
But
scariest parts in this when I first watched this is the scene in the library, and
oh god.
not
Yeah.
just not the downstairs stuff. That's freaky as fuck. But if you look in the background and you see the fucking the librarian, and she's
Yeah.
just staring at Ben, and she's got this huge fucking smile on her face. It's fucking creepy as hell. And every time they kind of, they flash between, like, I think Ben's looking at the paper and then flash to show Ben and then go back. Every time they show Ben, she's in a different spot and she's just kind of staring at him, smiling, and creepy as fuck. And it's just unnerving as hell. And then after, when it goes back around, the balloon floats by where she was. So, but it was just, when I first watched this, I was like, my God, that's fucking creepy as hell to me. I don't know why. I didn't spend a whole lot of time in libraries, and here we don't have libraries like that. We don't have cool fucking, huge libraries, and
No.
at least where we live. So
No, we just have like stale,
yeah,
stinky smelling,
single story,
I mean,
little
yeah.
buildings with books in them. So
I mean, here's how goofy I am, right? I'm watching him like walk away with the egg, and I'm like, if he yells, everybody's gonna be able to hear him.
yeah,
Then it dawns on me, even if they hear him, if the thing grabs him, if it grabs him before they can get there,
he's
he
gone.
can yell all he wants.
Yeah.
He's just disappeared.
Well, and I wonder if
And
it stops the sound anyways. Like he would have.
well, it's like because in the book he definitely can get people to just ignore shit. Like when
Yeah.
Ben is like they're staring at Ben and they're cutting him into him.
Yeah, and the
they
adults are just kind of like staring at him, and they drive off.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens with Georgie too. That old lady looks at Georgie out there with his head in the drain, doesn't think to go, "Hey, kid, get the fuck away from the drain," and just goes back to what
Yeah.
she's doing. So
Yeah. So it's one of those scary ass fucking extra things to think about. And I think did you think they did a good job with the fight scene, with the ending scene for the first half of the book
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was too bad. It was the very much Peter Pan stuff. You got to believe, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like the gun, yeah, the what's that? The bolt gun isn't loaded, but you just believe it's loaded. It's fine. Don't be afraid of him. That kind of shit. So I think
Yeah.
Did I miss it? They didn't do the silver bullet thing in this, did they?
No.
Because he
There
didn't.
was-
He
so-
was like he halfway turned into a werewolf and then he like ran off. Right?
Who was the one who was afraid of the werewolf?
I think it was
Was
Richie.
that's what I thought. See, Richie had like a leper guy chasing it. No.
No, that was the hypochondriac kid.
Yeah.
The fuck's his name?
He has a old guy name. I can't remember what it is.
Eddie.
Kelly, what's
Eddie.
the name of the? Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah. He had the leper guy, and then Richie was just said to be afraid of clowns, and then like the adult version, he's afraid of the big Paul Bunyan statue.
Yeah.
They kind of pull that in.
Yeah.
so,
Well,
so.
Eddie, he's a real goofball.
Yeah.
I mean, see, I don't remember Richie even seeing a werewolf guy in this.
I don't think he did. I think like you see when Bill stabs him in the head with that post or whatever. I think when he's going after Eddie, he starts to transform and he gets a big ass like hairy claw like a werewolf, and then that's when he kind of starts running away.
Huh.
But they didn't, because I think at the end of that scene, after they shoot him a couple times, doesn't he chase them down as a werewolf, like Teen Wolf kind of thing? Like he's wearing a Letterman jacket and shit like that.
Yeah.
And they're like riding away on the bikes and stuff.
Yeah, the book, it's really scary.
Yeah. And
It's
in
like,
this,
holy
they
shit,
kind of
he's gonna
like, this is
catch
their
one of them.
first time they take him down, and like, this is their, like, oh, we can fucking do this kind of thing,
Yeah.
galvanizing them to fight back. And then that's when they start breaking up anyways. So, which, smart, fucking break up these kids that seem to be able to defeat you, right?
Well, I mean, that's like it's a common thing, in these stories where if whatever is actually starting to get afraid of you, they start warning you and telling you they're going to kill you and stuff instead of just coming at you. And there's a lot of people, well, that would be enough,
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing. I don't, Stephen King does such a great job with some of that visceral feeling of fear where you're just like, oh God, what the hell's gonna happen? And that scene where like Henry's cutting into Ben and Ben looks and he can see the clown standing there.
Yeah.
Or is that
No, that's when they're beating up Mike.
that's yeah,
And the
that's with
clown
Mike.
is across
Yeah.
the river and he's eating the
Yeah, and he's
arm.
holding the arm.
And he just
Yeah.
waves at him with the
Fucking
arm.
Bill Skarsgård is a great fucking actor.
He is. And the fact that they
I mean,
didn't like mess with his face, in some of those scenes where he's just like, because I guess he can do that with his eyes.
yeah.
And shit. So like just that weird spaced out look is just fucking creepy. So
Yeah, he can do that with his bottom lip too.
yeah.
And he starts drooling. That was part of the creepiest part where he's talking to Georgie.
Yeah, and he
You
just
can
stops.
see him fucking starting to drool.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? What the hell's wrong with this kid? Why the hell, like, I'm not supposed to take anything from strangers. So he's like, oh, well, now you know my name. We're not strangers anymore. That's why you don't embrace technicalities, kid.
Yeah. Because
You
piece of shit, don't
knucklehead.
fucking don't go for it, man.
Yeah. And was trying to think of something. I thought they did a good job with the roles of the kids in the movie because, like, a lot of times, well, they did such a great job casting. I didn't feel like any of them were not true to their character.
Yeah, and they weren't shitty actors too. Like that's the hard
No.
part with kid actors a lot of the times is they just turn out to be really crappy. And you're like, well, fuck, but we needed a kid actor for this thing, so it sucks. And they all seem to do a really good job, and yeah, yeah, like you said, they fit the role really well. So,
Well, the kid who played Richie is totally different from how he is as Mike in Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, totally. He's a fucking
He's a
foul mouthed piece of shit in this, and he's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? He's protective and like the group leader kind of thing in the other one. So
yeah, he's kind of the goody two shoes of the group.
yeah,
Well, kind of the kid who ended up stuck in the
yeah. I feel like
upside
that kid
down
is
was
more goody two shoe, but yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it's nice because you see like all of the different like because the girl's kind of the rebel a little bit,
Yeah.
and Mike is like the kid struggling to have to deal with being his dad. He's like kind of the farm boy, and Ben is the nerd, and Eddie is like the hypochondriac, and Bill is just kind of the kid
the
with a
leader.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the leader. And then Stan is like the realist who's like,
Yeah.
this can't be fucking happening.
Fuck you
How
guys.
the fuck is this fucking happening?
Yeah.
And I mean, we all know kids like that.
Yeah.
They all like, that's what he did. That's part of what Stephen King does so well is he makes realistic characters. They're not, racing out there, like doing everything right, never breaking the law, he makes like flawed people.
Yeah.
I mean, Henry, wow. Everybody knows that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Every
Such a
town's got
sack.
at least one of them.
Such a sack of shit.
And they always seem to attract a whole bunch of other sacks to follow around, follow them around.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird. Like, so in Stephen King books and movies and stuff like that, usually when there's a bully, it's like, oh, the guy's gonna beat you up, and that's usually as far as it goes. It might, it'll probably be pretty bad,
Yeah.
or whatever. But it never gets to the point where you think maybe this kid's gonna kill one of these other kids. And in Stephen King books, it's almost like, yeah, one of these kids is probably gonna kill one of these other kids. So
Yeah.
he's just, it's like that guy has had some problems before, and then you've got fucking it getting into his head, making it worse. So
Well, he gets into the whole fucking town's head.
yeah,
I mean, the scene where Henry kills his dad.
yeah.
Jesus.
And the fucking the TV with the everything just changing, so you can hear in the background when his dad's watching whatever it is, some fucking kid show, which obviously his dad's just like hypnotized or whatever by this thing. 'Cause I don't feel like his dad would be watching some kid's clown show or some shit, or whatever the fuck it was supposed to be. And then you just hear them talking about the clown before Henry sticks the knife through his dad's throat, so
Yeah.
and then you hear that show on also when Bev is at home at with her dad too. And
Oh.
it's the same fucking thing, so but
God,
they
her
don't
dad is so fucking creepy.
he is. He's super
know?
creepy.
It's like, what the hell is?
Yeah. And that one actually brings in another like fucking creepy ass scene in the second movie where Bev goes back home and stuff like that. And I think they kind of nailed that one too with the way they do it from the book too. So it's pretty good. Did I lose you? Did you disappear? I think you disappeared. I'm talking to myself now. Eric might be able to hear me, but I can't hear him. Yep. Yep. My audio's going through. I think something happened to Eric's internet. Yeah. So yeah, this is a creepy ass movie though. Good job with Pennywise and just in general all this shit. We're just gonna wait for Eric to show up. I'll text him so I can tell him I can't hear him if he can hear me still. Internet's amazing, guys. Really good. Oh, no, that's not him. Okay, hold on. You know what we should have watched for today? I should have chose Aliens because apparently it's Alien Day. Eric, can't hear you. That's not useful here. You anymore. Do. I'm by myself. Yeah. So, what else can I talk about with this? For some reason, I thought Bill's bike was a lot shinier back in the day. Like it's really rusted in this thing. I mean, yeah, wear and tear and stuff like that. But it was real fucked up. I don't know. I feel like it was newer in the book. God, that rock fight scene was pretty cool. I like that. I remember that kind of shit. I didn't do that a whole lot because I didn't want to get hit in the head. Oh, Eric's writing back. Hold on. See what he says. See what he says. Eric is reconnecting. Yeah. Oh man. Do do do. I forgot that Henry's dad was the sheriff also. We got any trivia in here while we wait? Let's see. Nice. Much Richie and Eddie's banter is improv. That's pretty good. Kids got some talent then, right? Doing some improv that young. Pennywise only has 4 minutes of dialogue in the entire film. I feel like it was more, but I guess not. Kind of helps. I don't know. They do a good job like building up that suspense with him, where when he shows up, he's not always just screaming and yelling. He's like hiding in the background and stuff. So pretty good. Um, uh,
There we go.
Hey,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear Eric.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Internet
happens.
troubles.
Yeah.
So, what were you talking about?
I was just rambling on. I was
Oh,
talking about the rock scene where they're fighting with rocks. I remember doing that like once as a kid and never again because getting hit in the head with a rock sucks.
you
Dirt
only had
clods
one
though.
rock fight?
Oh, dirt clods, was another thing. I mean, we'd throw that, and that usually had a rock in it somewhere, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, generally, dirt clod fights end up in a rock fight.
because somebody throws a dirt clod with the rock in it, and then you get
Oh,
pissed off
yeah.
and you throw a rock at them, and then it just goes back and forth. Yeah,
It's like one of those escalation things.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
No, I'm just not. I'm
And,
not a big fan of getting hit in the head with rocks, so I didn't do it a whole lot. So,
what's funny is like, so we had tons of rock fights
yeah,
in kids because my mom would take us over to the neighbor kid's house, John and Michael, and they always had some shithead kid over there.
uh-huh.
So we'd end up in a rock fight, me and Robert and Dan versus the three of whoever those people were. And Robert's really good at hitting people in the face with rocks. He can't pitch worth a shit, but if he wanted to drill you in the face with a rock, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah,
And I was pretty good at hitting stuff too. I'm not like the best or anything, but I could drill
you can hold
people
your
in the
own.
face with some of the stuff. Yeah. And I mean, I pitched in little league and stuff, so I can throw hard. So if I hit you, you're gonna be bleeding,
Yeah,
like for sure. So anyhow, so we would have rock fights all the time. So one time, the neighbor kid that's not them, there was like an older neighbor kid that was like 5 to 10 years older than us, joined in.
uh
So he was just whizzing rocks at us,
huh.
and of course he hit I think Michael or John in the head with the rock, and it was like, what the hell, man? Because I mean I've had stitches in my head like a bazillion times. It wasn't even bad enough to get stitches,
Yeah.
but I mean, oh my god, the screams and stuff. So I hit the kid. I ended the thing when I threw this giant rock and I drilled him right in the eye with it, and he started screaming, "Ah!" And then he ran off to his house, and he never did that again. And it was just one of those fucking goofy things kids do, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. The rock fights, but they did such a good job in this because they kind of look real.
Yeah.
They bounce a little much because rocks generally, once they hit something, they're just kind of dead. They don't ever like bounce up in the air.
Yeah.
And it does hurt a lot when you get hit in the nads with a rock.
I feel like they were protecting their nads, just not their heads as much. So.
Yeah. Most of the time, the rock fights are just people missing.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to hit because like you're used to throwing stuff at somebody that's not a rock.
Yeah.
And there's a whole
And
different.
somebody who's not moving around.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah.
So apparently, Pennywise only had 4 minutes of dialogue in this whole movie, man. I feel like there was more, but
Jesus. I feel like the entire movie was just him fucking with those kids.
yeah, he does such a great job of just being like in the background or like other parts like that. So, so yeah,
Yeah. He's a
um,
creepy fucking dude. That guy is a great actor.
he is. Does a good job.
So I'm kind of like looking forward to him as an older guy, just to see what he can do.
See what else he does.
Yeah. I mean, because he has two brothers that also act, and one of them was in True Blood and was Tarzan, and then the other one was in what the hell's that show, Vikings. He plays Floki or whatever.
Yeah.
And anyways, so they're all pretty good actors. Their dad does a great job in this. I can't remember the name of the show now. Maybe Broadchurch or something. Anyways, he plays this cop who's seeing a dead lady, and you don't know she's. It took me like, and I think part of an episode to realize she was dead.
What was his? What was that one? I know which one you're talking about. What one was he?
Yeah.
It wasn't Broadchurch because that's the one with David Tennant.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. I mean, the family is just fucking talented. They're good at what they do. So,
Yeah,
um,
friggin' Swedes.
he's like 6'3.5".
Who is?
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's some giant dude.
He's fucking tall as hell. Apparently, he's the shortest out of his siblings, though.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, I know the other guy's like 6'5". You know, the
Yeah.
Tarzan guy.
So Gustav is an inch taller, and both Alexander and Sam are 2 inches taller.
Jeez.
Fucking giants, but that's fucking Viking stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Oh. Damn it! It's supposed to say. I was. Oh no, we're looking up the show he was in, Kelly. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Stellan Skarsgård, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now, trying to figure it out. Oh, it's River. That's what it's called. At least
Oh, I've never
like
seen that one.
90%.
Okay. What am I
Yeah.
thinking of? The fuck else? He's just been in so much stuff that I've seen, so it's like, man.
Yeah. It's been a tough.
He's in
Been
Thor
a lot of
also.
stuff. What's that?
He's in Thor also. All those Avengers
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
plays a
He's
crazy
like the
doctor.
scientist guy.
Yeah, he's a crazy doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyways, it's what a creepy fuck. I haven't. Have you seen Chapter 2? Is it pretty good?
Yeah, I don't feel like it's as scary. I think they did a good job with it. I think
Uh-huh.
did a pretty good job with the casting. I just don't think it's as scary as this one is. Like I said, a lot of it's probably just because I feel like the kids are way more vulnerable than adults, but
Yeah.
the adults are fucked up, where the kids kind of seem to have it way more together than they do as an adult. So, yeah, so, but it's done well. I think, but I feel like it's funnier. I think adding Bill Hader in there makes it funnier.
Oh, is
Also,
that
I don't.
Richie?
Yeah, but I don't
Oh,
feel.
that's a great casting choice.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
but I also don't feel like Pennywise is as scary. I feel like some of the stuff he does is funnier to me in that one. So,
Right.
but
I mean, having a kid now, I totally see why having a kid makes the thing so much worse. Like,
yeah,
more, they're just like, oh God, don't get him. I mean, when we were watching, Kelly and I just recently watched the movie Doctor Sleep,
uh-huh.
and there's a bit there with a kid that's got the same color hair as my kid,
Yeah,
and of course he's a good actor, and he's hollering and stuff, and he's in pain, and I'm just like, I was like, I can't believe how worked up I am right now.
I'll just
I'm actually
stop.
like, yeah, I'm just like, turn this shit off. I don't
Yeah.
want to watch anymore, And normally that kind of stuff doesn't bother me that much. But it's like you start imagining your kid in it, and it's like, oh shit. Hell no.
Yeah,
You
I will
know?
say, I mean, in the same situation, like as in chapter 2 kind of thing, I would not fare very well against all this shit. Anyways, I don't think I'd go back to the town. I don't give a shit. If something like that happened,
You'd
I'm
let
not
a
coming
bunch
back.
of other kids get eaten,
I'm not going back. Never again.
then I'd show up at your house. All right, we're going. No, fuck you. I'm not going. We're going. God damn it.
Fucking do everything I can to sabotage the car on the way there.
Yeah, you're just like
My
peeing on
luck,
the
though, it'd
gas.
sabotage it. It'd be fine until we got there. I'm like, fuck, it didn't work. Now we're stuck here till we can get a new
Yeah.
car or something fixed.
That's pretty much what would happen too.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I pissed in the gas tank, so this motherfucker, what the fuck? Then we get into town and go, 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 go.
Son of a
And
bitch.
you'd be like, damn it! Why did I piss in that tank? Shit. Fuck.
Let's get a whole lot of guns, all right? That's all I can
Yeah.
think. We need a lot of guns.
Yeah, I think we'd probably be okay with that. We'd definitely be covered in that area.
Oh, man. Just
So.
roll into fucking Derry with
Yeah.
fucking an army's worth of weapons.
Well, I really wish that my dad's stuff hadn't been burned up in the fire because I'm pretty sure he had enough things there that we could have just leveled that entire what do you
Sewer
call
system.
it? Just basically just loaded the sewer system up and been like, light the fuse,
Yeah.
and then that thing would be in there like, boom! Oh shit, I'm actually dead. Damn, that was a hell of an explosion.
All I can say is I got a pretty good imagination, so I feel I'm hoping I can use my imagination like the kids do and fucking fight back. So
Yeah.
make shit that hurts him. No, this is a
Oh,
laser
yeah.
gun, and pew 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 pew. A fucking
Yeah, I'd
rifle
be
or
good
something
with
like that.
too. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, my finger can just poke right through you.
Yeah.
I'm Superman, bitch. You know.
Oh man.
Then you just see my arm turn into an octopus, and it just goes right in his butt. And you're like, what the hell are you thinking about? And
He's
I'm just
kind of
like,
into it though.
yeah. Pennywise over there. Oh my god.
You stay down here with me. I'm not going to attack any kids ever again.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need to worry about this. We're good to go.
God damn it.
He starts looking at my eyes, trying to get me in the deadlights, and he's
Yeah.
like, "What the hell's going on?" Nope, nope, and out.
Here, one of them doesn't work. I can't see it anyways. It's all right.
Yeah. Boy, the deadlights thing in the book is really creepy.
Yeah.
You know, where it describes all that, and
You get a little bit of that description. You kind of get his origin a little bit more in chapter 2 also. So
yeah, because I feel like in the book the kids found out most of the origin stuff.
yeah, well, and you
They did, because they did that. They did the Native American
Ritual?
smoking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get that information in the second book too, or in the second movie, because they do like in the second one it mostly follows the adults, but it goes back and forth between adults and kids again. So you get the
Wow.
kid stuff. So you kind of like, because they've got to go find totems and shit like that, and so yeah. But they do
Yeah.
the ritual as adults in this one. So
Well, I mean, whoever did this needs to do the Gunslinger
Yeah.
and all of the, not a movie. He needs to do either a series, which would probably be the best.
yeah, get an
'Cause you could
HBO
do
or
season
Showtime
one.
series.
Yeah, you could do season 1 of the Gunslinger, season 2 of, I can't remember the name of the second book now, The Drawing of the Three, I think.
Yeah.
And then all of that just book by book. And
It turned out really
that
good.
would be, yeah, that'd be a lot better than, hey, let's jam 8 books in 1 hour and 20-minute movie.
And that's once again pulls in the, Stephen King does a good job of making like a realistic thing, not having superheroes.
Yeah.
Because Roland is basically a superhero, and then he loses his fingers right away. Like he gets to use that power once that we see, and then no, you can't do it anymore.
Then guess what? You're fucked up now.
Yeah.
And he's sick. Like through the Drawing of the Three, he's fucking deathly sick.
Yeah.
You just see him tough it out through some like awful, he's like got a super bad infection from his hand and something else, and you see him fight it off, and it's pretty good.
Is there another one of these guys in the Gunslinger?
Yeah. He goes to Derry at the end of one of the last 2 books,
Uh-huh.
and he's I don't know if it's necessarily one of them, but I want to say it's either Bev or Bill. Before they're maybe not one of them. It might even be I don't remember, but somebody's talking to him about the creature, and it's in between the 27-year time.
So it'd probably
span.
be Mike then, because Mike remembers.
Well, it seems like it might not even be Derry. It might be.
Oh, okay.
It might be someone out of Derry. I'm pretty sure he's not in Derry.
Well, then maybe he's talking to Bill, because Bill writes the stories and stuff. So
yeah, it seemed like it was Bill, but I don't know. It's been so long. I think the last time I listened to it, I would say it was probably 2012.
Yeah.
So it's all those stories I listened to around the time my brother died, and it's probably been long enough ago now that it won't bug me as bad. I've started listening to the Gunslinger like 6 times, and then been like, nope.
Yeah. Did they go into the turtle in the book? I can't remember.
He says
they
the
just
beginning
mention
of
it, right?
Yeah, he just is like they find a turtle in the water, and then at the end of it, he does the man and the post thing,
Yeah.
which is weird because I don't remember the it creature saying that in the book. I remember one of the kids thinking it and then saying it, and it just screws with the creature.
Yeah.
So
Because like you see that Bill has a turtle when he goes into Georgie's room, and the book
yeah,
and all, and the photo book and stuff like that's all fucked up, and it's trying to get him. Um, and then he breaks the turtle there. Um, but yeah, they're just like, come on, man, couldn't the turtle help out a little bit? Fucking asshole.
yeah,
Supposed to be omnipotent and all powerful, and he just fucking doesn't do anything to this thing. No, just fears it.
yeah,
Uh, the beep beep Richie thing, they do it a lot in
yeah.
the book. Literally, the only person that says in this whole fucking movie is Pennywise once when he's
Well,
inside
I
the
mean,
house.
the
Um,
poor Richie's voices are just cut down to like two voices because of the PC thing.
yeah, it's true.
And in the book, he's got like 15 different voices, and most of them are the ones where the kids would be like, "Oh, geez,
Well, and
okay, beep
also
beep
like the
Richie."
book takes place, in the 50s, I think, also,
Yeah,
and like the adult version is in the 80s or something like that. So, or
yeah,
would that be? Yeah, it's like late 50s, early 60s or something. So,
I think that's right. Yeah,
yeah. So,
whole
and
different time period.
yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
also feel like they didn't do a um Eddie's mom isn't as bad
No,
in
and she's
this as
way
she is
fatter
in
in
the
the book.
book,
She was way
and
fatter
just
in the
way
book.
worse.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well, she just doesn't get a whole lot of screen time either, which is fine.
Yeah,
It's really really far side character, so it's not that bad. But it's like she just isn't. I don't know. Yeah, um, definitely way more overbearing and stuff. So
they did a good job showing that Ben liked Bev the whole time,
yeah,
and he just kind of let Bill do his thing,
yeah.
which is everybody's been there. So
It's kind of funny because they change like so. When they grow up, Mike is way more of a nerd than Ben is. And maybe Mike is a nerd in this. We just don't see him school wise. We see him because he's homeschooled, so he's just always see him as the farm life kind of thing. So,
yeah,
but when he grows up, he's the guy who stayed. He works in the library. He's got all this information, all the fucking research and stuff. And Ben,
yeah,
when they leave, they forget about it and all that stuff. So,
that's weird to think that you just forget about that.
yeah.
I don't think Stan ever actually forgets about it because
Yeah,
he was like, nope. And then, I mean, in the book, I think the opening scene is him like noping out of returning.
yeah. Well, and they do the same thing in the movie too. So
Yeah.
he's, I don't know. I feel like it's gone until he gets that call from Mike, and that's kind of what
Oh,
happens, and it brings it back to everybody. But
yeah.
Stan, being the realist, is like, no, fuck this. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it then. I'm not going to do it now because I feel like all he remembers is Pennywise and not the friendship, like not the power
Yeah.
that they had together. And I think that kind of, pushes him over the edge when he becomes an adult and just offs himself because you know, he just remembers the terror that he felt fighting that thing, as a kid. So
Well, this would be I mean, if it was me in those fucking tunnels, the thing would be some giant snake or
yeah,
a whole bunch of little snakes, which I don't know which one would be worse. I think the whole bunch of little snakes because you'd just be like,
just a
oh shit.
swarm. I mean, swarms of things
Yeah.
is way scarier almost always.
Yeah.
So
And, I mean, because what's funny is like one of them scared of a werewolf, whereas I think werewolves are cool,
yeah,
you know.
it wouldn't get me either.
And our little group, like I definitely see what's funny is the thing would be a swarm of ants, a swarm of spiders, or a swarm of snakes.
Yeah,
Or God knows what scares Ricky.
because
A
Kelly and
swarm of
I
work.
swarm of work. Because Kelly and I are the ant ones, right?
Yeah.
You snakes.
Jason
Jason doesn't like spiders.
Jason nopes out of spiders pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
Ricky doesn't like spiders either, but he's not. I don't think he's on the Jason level of spiders.
No.
So, um,
I've been working on my snake, the fear of snakes, just
Yeah.
because I don't know. I think it started when I was a kid. I'd had this recurring nightmare where I was climbing up some like desert bluffs,
Yeah.
and I stick my hand up and I'm pulling my face up, and this like rattlesnake bites me in the face, and they've scared the shit out of me ever since then.
I remember as a kid,
So
I sat in a pile of red ants, and that scared the fuck out of me because my mom just stripped me off and like threw me in the pool
ugh,
because I was just covered in them. So
that's
and,
weird. I
yeah,
used to play with ant nests all the time, and they never bugged me at all.
yeah. I just
And
like
then
I
with
apparently
spiders,
sat in one. Sat in a fucking hill.
huh? Well, I mean, we'd go out to work with my dad, so we were exposed to ants like all the time.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much just like, well, you got ants on you, better get them off you. And then the spiders, we used to put you if you put Tonka trucks in the middle of a grassy field,
You're
or
definitely gonna
like
get spiders.
and then you have the water on it,
Uh huh.
like so you put it in the middle of your lawn, they're gonna get black widows.
Yeah.
So we used to do that on purpose, and then we'd shake the things out to get the black widows to fall out, and then we'd stomp them. Well, we quit doing that one day when one of the spiders jumped on my brother, and poor Dan was like, "Oh shit!" and Robert just smacked it. He's like, "Well, I got it," and I'm like, "Holy crap, that could have been really bad,"
Yeah. Well,
Because
like the past few years, we've had an issue here where I live, so I've had to
yeah,
go around at night and just fucking, I get like a stick or whatever, like a broom handle, and just walk around or like a fly swatter or whatever, just walk around. If I see them, stab them if I can. If I can't, swat them, and then destroy the nest and move on.
yeah,
So I'm like, I'll kill 3 or 4 at a night, and hopefully, I think last year we were pretty good. This year, I've seen a couple of them so far, so it might be a bad year again. So
yeah.
it's just
We've been having a whole bunch of some weird looking spiders that I've never seen before, and they just appear in the middle of the room,
yeah.
wandering across, and some of them are quite sizable. And I'm like, what the hell? And there's definitely two different kinds. There's one with like a small body that's a big spider, and they've got huge fangs.
Yeah.
Like I took a picture and I smushed it with my finger through a paper towel, and the fangs still stab me in the finger. Now I
Nice.
don't think that one's venomous because I didn't have any reaction, so if you're squishing it, you'd think some of the venom would get in there.
I think so.
Anyways, I think it's just one of those like, ow, that hurt spiders.
Yeah.
And then
Or
there's another one that looks like a brown widow.
mhm.
And I guess I was looking on the internet, and there's like a million different kinds of like false brown widows. And of course, looking at pictures, I was looking at this website, and one of them had a picture of a false brown widow, and then the next picture and a different website of a brown widow was the same exact picture. And I'm like, "Oh, good job, guys.
Yeah.
This is definitely helpful.
Uh,
We're
when
looking at something."
when me and Jason went and helped Ponytail move in that fucking that metal shed in the back
Oh
garage or
shit.
whatever. So we're moving stuff around, and I don't know how many times I found huge wolf spiders that were like larger, like with legs larger than my hand, just sitting
Yeah.
under stuff. And I'm just like, it's a good thing I'm not afraid of spiders, because this would
Yeah.
freak me the
Jason,
fuck
and then
out.
just like throw it
Yeah.
at it. Throw it at him. Oh!
Yeah, it was like tarantula size kind of thing. Some of these, it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. We had one when I lived in Magalia, and it was a relatively nice house, but just for whatever reason, because we lived so close to the trees and stuff, I guess, just got spiders inside. And there was one on my wall, and I remember trying to step on it. I didn't hear a squish, didn't see a mark on the wall, nothing on the bottom of my shoe, and I freaked the fuck out because I'm like, where the fuck did it go? Because it was huge. And I don't know
Yes.
what it was. So I'm standing in my room and I'm just like stripping clothes off, seeing if it's in my pants and stuff like that. And I lived with David at the time. And he walks by the room, my door is still open. He's like, "What's up?" I was like, "Spider." "Oh, cool." And just walks away. I'm standing in my boxers. Just like, just a normal fucking thing. So we took to just shooting him with airsoft guns at that point.
Jeez.
So every time we saw him, we just, because it didn't do enough. It didn't hit hard enough to break anything. You just
But it
vacuum
would
the
kill 'em.
vacuum the BBs up. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So it was fun.
That's a good idea.
It was
Yeah.
a nice hunting experience. So.
Yeah, I would say so. I did
Um,
that once. We were screwing with a black widow. It was inside the house, and Robert and I were trying to get it fished out of this little spot,
yeah.
and the thing fell down from where it was at, and then I couldn't find it. And I was like, "Do you see it? Where the hell did it go?" He's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Oh," because I mean, at that, you know what happens when you see something, and then your brain's like, "Do you feel that touching you?" And like every hair, you feel every hair that's on your body all of a sudden, and you're like, "Oh God, it's everywhere!"
Yeah.
So we both like stripped off our clothes and just went charging out the thing, and it turned out it was like right next to where it was at before. We just didn't see it. So one of those things. Shit. When my mom and dad went on a trip to visit my brother in South Carolina, my mom had one in the fan,
Yeah.
and it was up in this like nook and cranny, and this son of a bitch was humongous. I mean, it was so if it was dead and not laying, I don't know if my fingertips would touch grabbing it around the body with between my thumb and my forefinger. I mean, it was humongous. And I remember looking at it, and I thought it was just a big like dirt clod or something until it moved. And I'm like, that's the biggest friggin' black widow I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing here? Anyways, so I got the vacuum up there and I'm vacuuming it, and then it just disappeared. And I couldn't find it in the vacuum. I couldn't find it around where it was at. It quit making a nest. So it was gone. So I literally just took the vacuum out and put it in the trash can.
Oh, it's done. We don't need this
Yeah, I
anymore.
was like, we don't need I mean, it wasn't, I was just putting it in there so that if the thing was in the vacuum, like stuck in the tube, it would crawl its way out.
Yeah.
And then I plugged it in. Anyways, I vacuumed up I think some dirt or something. I figured, well, the dirt will knock the stupid thing back in the. And anyways, I never seen it again, and it didn't get me, so that's good. Black widows give me the willies sometimes because they just, they're creepy.
Yeah.
And I think the scariest spider story I ever heard was this guy named Vic was working on his pickup in a junkyard, and he was having to take a starter off of an old pickup anyway, so he's sitting there, and the spider just lands on his hand, and then he sees it, and it just starts hammering up his arm, and it's some giant brown recluse.
Yeah.
And he's trying not to panic because if he gets bit, like you can lose a hand over those stupid things.
Yeah.
So it ends up his shirt. It's just got under his shirt sleeve, and I guess he just reached up and he pinched his shirt sleeve together and killed it. And I'm like, wow. And he's like, yeah, it didn't get me, but holy crap, I pissed my pants. I thought for sure I was going to lose an arm or lose some big chunk of thing out of me. I mean, my mom got bit in her thigh by a brown recluse, and my dad ended up having to. I guess she had a bunch of tissue dying and wouldn't go to the doctor. So my dad just, I guess, took care of some of the necrosis by, according to her and him, cutting some of the dead flesh away. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? Go to the doctor. What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Yeah. It's fucked up.
I'd be like, no, I'm going to go to the doctor and get loaded and then they can do it. We don't need my dad's chew knife to be over there like,
He's
yeah,
not
I'll
using.
trim my
He's
toenails.
not
Hold
using a
on.
toenail or a toe knife.
Yeah, well, he definitely cleaned it. He was real careful about that shit because uh, he fancied himself kind of a, well, let's put it this way. If this was the 1800s, my dad would definitely be a doctor.
Yeah.
Because he didn't panic, and I've seen him do stitches and what do you call it, butterfly. He actually got this guy tipped over a water truck when I was a little kid, and he butterfly bandaged the shit out of the guy. The guy didn't even have scars. Did a good job, and they were deep cuts.
Yeah.
So Robert wouldn't let him butterfly bandage when he stabbed himself in the chest, though. Robert was had his big ass knife and was whittling towards himself for some reason, and stabbed himself in the chest.
Nice.
And my dad's like, I think it was on Christmas too. And so they go into the ER, and the lady's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" So my brother goes, "I was shooting a bow and arrow up in the air, and it came down and it hit me in the chest." And they were like, "Oh my God, really?" And he's like, "No, I stabbed myself in the chest with a knife." And they're like, "What? That's got to be bullshit."
Oh man.
So that kid's had a lot of whittling accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some kids just do that.
Like not a thing you'd hear nowadays. Hey, it's got a lot of whittling accents.
I mean, it's kind of sad though.
Oh man, nobody's
Like, there's
whittling
nothing.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, nobody does anything like that anymore. Like, there's a whole, I just read an article that David Harbour guy says that all the kids on the Stranger Things cast don't have any life skills.
I
You
mean, I
know,
believe it.
Me too, but he's like, when I was a kid, I could do all kinds of stuff these guys can't do,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of truth to that,
What is
you
David
know.
Harbour?
He's Hopper.
40 something? I know who he is. And
Oh, how old is he?
yeah, how old
Yeah,
is
I
he?
don't
So
have an idea.
1975. So yeah.
Yeah, that's oof. Just glad that's not me stuck with some, you know, knife in my chest like, "Oh, whoops." I'm also glad that we didn't grow up in some little town like that and have to deal with the weirdness of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
'Cause-
like how it would happen where we lived. It would be some kind of woods creature, right? It'd have to live in probably some old ass tree or some,
Yeah,
fucked up thing like that.
could be a gold mine though. There's a lot of
Yeah,
gold mines
that's
that
true.
are under there that people don't really know about,
Yeah.
you know.
Um, but like that wouldn't it would I mean, I guess if there was tunnels underneath the town, just like a whole lot of them. This is kind of like the point was like Pennywise was able to get to different places in town because of the sewer system and
Oh,
stuff. So
yeah.
and we didn't have a sewer system where we lived.
Nope.
So it's like, just trying to think of how that would happen. It would have to be just tree monster of some sort, and we know how Eric feels about trees. um,
Oh yeah.
uh,
The town
maybe
would have burnt
maybe our
down when we were
Pennywise
kids.
just like maybe our Pennywise up there just literally starts fires, and that's what happens. And he finally fucking just got fed up with it, and just like wipe it out. I'm hungry. I'm starving,
Yeah.
and that's how he
Our
eats them.
Pennywise was the CEO of PG&E.
Yeah.
She's
Oh
like, "I'll
man.
get you, my pretties."
Oh fuck.
Ah, fuck you, Paradise.
Yeah.
Or like, fuck you. Let's see, fuck you, Santa Rosa. Fuck you, Redding. Fuck you, Paradise. And
Fuck you, Lake
then fuck you, Santa
County.
Rosa again. Fuck you, Lake County. I
Um,
mean,
yeah.
what lines?
Concow. Basically, just fuck you, Butte County. Really.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
replace the lines. Why would I waste money doing that?
I could not. If I did that, I wouldn't be able to have a cool party at my $1 million
Yeah,
mansion.
if we just don't replace the lines, I don't have to pay for them. That's how. I'm pretty
um,
sure they could have replaced all their lines for $19 billion. You know,
yeah.
but it's okay. They'll just raise our rates and pay for that,
Yeah, that's how we'll do it. We'll just pay
and
for it
then leave the
ourselves.
rates that way and just make more money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we gave them a raise to burn our houses down. It's a good incentive. They'll just be
Yeah.
burning everybody's house down now.
Yeah, why not?
So,
All right, what ratings you give this?
I gave this movie, the rating of 4 stars. Kelly, what'd you give it? She also gave it 4 stars.
Give this 4.5 stars. Like this movie.
Yeah.
Next week's movie, May the 4th is coming up, guys. So that means it's Star Wars week. I don't know how much Star Wars content you guys are actually going to see because I don't know how much anybody really wants to play Star Wars and how much we can actually get Star Wars to work.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
I mean, I can play. I guess I can release something from the Fallen Jedi stuff because some of that was really janky and didn't turn out very well. But yeah, so we'll check that out. Maybe we'll try to do something. But yeah, so join us next week. I didn't say the movie we're watching, did I? Star Wars: Attack of the Clones is next week. That's the one we're going with.
Yeah, you can all watch us cringe at Hayden
Hayden
Christensen's
Christensen
acting.
talking about sand and all of his vaginas all over the place and how much he hates him. And then he's going to murder youngling. No, he doesn't murder younglings yet. He murders raiders this time. I guess there's youngling raiders that he murders, doesn't he?
Oh, I'm sure.
Is that in this one or is that in the next one?
No, I think it's in the next one. It's the beginning of the next one, isn't it?
Fuck, I don't remember. I know he talks about how much he hates a little sand in his vagina. But I don't remember.
Well, I mean, what the hell are they doing to this kid? Like, he's a little annoying in Phantom Menace. I
God,
think
I
you
hate that
guys
kid.
think he's super annoying, but
He
I thought
fucking
he
annoyed
was.
the shit out of me.
I thought he was like okay. I mean, I knew kids that were like that.
He
And,
wasn't okay.
Mostly
so
because I was a kid that was like some of that kid.
in a movie
You know.
with Jar Jar Binks, it's kind of a dead. Like they're like neck and neck with the annoyance factor for me. I just can't do it. Just don't.
Was
like
it just his acting that bothered
Yeah,
you?
it was just so bad. And Hayden Christensen isn't very good in acting in this, and I think he might actually be better in other stuff. I think for the most part, because Natalie Portman is a good actress, but
Yeah.
she's not good in this movie either,
No.
or the other movie. It's the fucking the directing and the writing in this thing is just not great. There are good parts in this movie. We'll talk about it next week, and I'm sure that will even get like piss people off. But there are parts in this movie that I enjoyed. The third one is way better than the first two of this series, though.
I just want to see a movie with just nothing but General Grievous fighting Jedi.
God, that would be so good. Just that whole thing.
Yeah.
His fucking,
You
you
could
know,
see him. You
'cause
could
you know
see
he's
him
gonna
get
be
crushed by
badass.
Mace Windu
Yeah.
before Samuel L. Jackson gets too old to do it.
God, I want Samuel.
know?
I just want a Mace Windu movie after he gets thrown out the window.
Yeah, you don't actually see him die.
Just see fucking because you know Jedi's are gonna survive that shit. There ain't no way.
Yeah.
He's still really strong in the Force. He may not have any hands, but he can still control that Force. Stop himself from smashing on the ground.
Oh, that's right. They did cut his
Well,
hands off.
I guess he wouldn't hit the ground anyways. That's a really long ways. Hit a platform of some sort below. Like the ground
Oof.
is so fucking far away or in Coruscant that'd be ridiculous. He'd be falling forever.
I mean, shit. If he's lucky, he could just call a taxi and be like, "Can you catch me? I'm falling down this thing."
Yeah. It's gonna be
Okay.
extra. You're in the dark
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that
Cool.
next week as we talk about Attack of the Clones. So we'll put this up. There it is. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you guys like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Heroic Adventure Productions. Kelly's been posting some funny shit there. I'm assuming Kelly has been doing that because I
Yep,
don't see
it's all
Eric
Kelly.
doing that.
Kelly's
and,
doing a good job on that. There's
She
some
is.
really funny stuff
Yeah.
on there where I'm like, ah,
and
holy shit, that's our page.
I would know what Jason would be posting there, and we'd have to erase everything that he posts there. So it's definitely got to be Kelly. So yeah, check us out, facebook.com/Heroic Adventure Productions. Good shit's going on there. Also, follow us on Twitter at HAP Gaming. Follow me on Twitter at Turkader. Follow Eric on Twitter at
Quick and severe.
Follow Kelly on Twitter at Sugar Snuggles. Jason on Twitter at Furry Twitter Balls, and Ricky on Twitter. Nope. Ricky's at Furry Twitter Balls. Jason's at Unbelievable One. There it is. I didn't read off all the other stuff. YouTube.com/Heroic Adventure Productions, Twitch.tv/Heroic Adventure, Mixer.com/Turkader, and Twitch.tv/Turkader Plays. Check us out every Thursday. I've been doing a show called Happy Surprise. I've been having fun with that, playing video games from the Xbox Game Pass thing library. That's what it's called. Hitting that surprise button and just letting it tell me what to play. So that's been fun. You guys should check out the Game Pass. It's really good. I'm hoping to get sponsored by Microsoft. Never going to happen, but you never know. We'll see. Also, email us at Steve, Eric, Kelly, Jason, and Ricky at hapgaming.com. Each one of those names individually at hapgaming.com. You can find all the stuff I've been saying in the description on youtube.com/Heroic Adventure Productions and twitch.tv/Turkader Plays. You can also find a donate link on those sites if you hit that donate button, and you might be able to buy me a taco. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Buy me a taco. What else? Also, we're going to be playing some video games this next week. Not sure. Probably Wednesday, I guess. Starts at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And join us next Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, as we talk about Star Wars Attack of the Clones. think that's it, though. Thanks for watching, everybody, and join us next week for all that other stuff I said. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Kelly says bye.
All right.